Hey guys, Gigi Box Guide here, and it's time for another coloring book flip through, tour, etc., whatever you want to call it. This is Millie Marinotte's Brilliant Pieces, favorite illustrations from Coloring Adventures. This is actually my second book of hers. This is my first one, which is Curious Creatures, Coloring Book Adventure. I found this one at Goodwill, bought this one bargain book area of Barnes & Noble. Bargain books. They're basically clearance section. Well, not really clearance section, but the ones that they don't want to sell at a regular price. Anyways, I bought this a year ago in order to take it on a road trip vacation my husband and I took last year. I didn't do too terribly much, but you're driving. What can you say? What can you do? Alright, you may notice these little dots. That's because I wanted to take into comparison with the same ones from the Curious Creatures book. So I will have that to do. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, to start off, make sure, there we go. I did the Brown-Toed Sloths, which is the very first page in here. This one's also in the Curious Creatures, but I did not do it, which is why I did it here. And then I did the Rhinoceros. As you can tell, as you might notice, some splotchiness because I was using, actually let me grab it real fast. So I actually get the name. The Azure Royal Lancaster markers. These came from Walmart as a set. I also used my old, my markers are right next to me, so that's why I did this here. I also used Prismacolor Premieres, just regular, along with Ohuhu markers from my old Ohuhu set. That's what's in here. This is just what's left, as you can tell. And then Bic markers, permanent markers, so basically Sharpies. I have a couple old Blick Studio one from when I was trying that out, a brush tip from there, and one Crayola. It doesn't even look like it's close, but it is. Okay, one Crayola metallic marker. That's basically what I used. Things I could take on vacation I didn't really care about. Alright. Oh, and show you the last little bit is that Jelly Roll Metallics. I bought a bunch of those. I did not have those on vacation, well, outside of what little metallics I had left. Last thing I used was Settler Fine Liners. That's why I used the color. So anyways, here's the Brown-Throated Sloth. And here is the Rhinoceros. This is what I chose to do. I don't think I'll be getting another one of hers unless I happen to find either one of these two books for fairly cheap. So, like I said, I got the Curious Creatures at Goodwill for like $3.99, I think. And this one was $9.99 at Barnes & Noble. No, cheaper than that. I think this one ended up being $7, so it was about the same. Okay, then I did the Stink. And then metallic, I don't know if you can see it being picked up there in the shine. I started coloring like the leaves and stuff, and then after a while I just said screw it. Alright, this hippopotamus is one of my favorites. I was just using gray tones, so and I was using my regular Prismacolors at the time because I had them out, but it's blacks, grays, blue grays, green grays. I really like how the hippo turned out. And then we have 3 giraffe heads. We have the Pangola. He's probably one of my favorite animals. One of my favorite animals within these books. Within this book, the Curious Creature, I had a few more of like my top favorites. Then I did an elephant shrew. The only problem is I really wanted to do the sea lion, but the Pangola outweighed it. I just noticed there's a mistake right there. Oh well. I don't think I have that marker left. I think it died. So here's the elephant shrews, which I know are in the Curious Creatures. I just didn't do it. Then the spread of tapirs, which I only did part of, because I think they're interesting creatures. I really like the lore of them in like Japanese mythology. And then I did. Let me flip to the back to see if I can get this name a little clearer. Whoa! I'm just losing papers all over the place. Oh. Okay, let's see here. We would be on. This would be the Northern Tamundians. And a nice spread. See, by this point I'm like, I'm not doing all of that shrubbery. I'm just doing the animals. And I wrote this and I'm like, hey, I should have used whiteout to make it more visible. Or done like a metallic. Oh, I don't think a metallic would have helped. Never mind. Sea turtle was like the second one I did. You'll see the first one, which I didn't actually finish. But I just like the sea turtle, as you can tell. I think it turned out pretty neat, kind of colorful. I did the stag where I was doing more, trying to use more earthy tones for it. This pinky color turned out a little brighter than I wanted. Well, okay, zebras, the spread here was the first one I did. I wasn't feeling good, couldn't sleep, something. On our road trip, we went to Missouri. So, and I'm in California, Southern California, desert. So you can infer that I was feeling very blah. I also didn't do the bamboos, yeah. I keep calling them that on the other page just because. Then you got the sugar glider head. I do not like how this one turned out. One, my markers were dying on it, and two, the color choices were off. As you can tell, I have to skip because permanent marker just bleeds through, and water-based marker. So alcohol-based markers, which are permanent, bleed through, and water-based markers eat it up. So we did ants. This one I went ahead and did the background because I felt like I needed it. I pulled out every shade of red I had, anything that said it was red. I did add vermilion because it's kind of a reddish orange, and this is processed red, which is more of a magenta orange. And then I think at least one of these I put gray on to get one more. I think it was this one here, looking at it because of the way it bled, to get one more red tone than what I had. We have an armadillo low here, another one of my favorites, the iguana. I didn't let my marker dry, if you could tell here, so that would be this here. Just didn't dry. The jelly roll, I didn't let it dry. Then we did aardvarks and the European pine marten. Again, I only did the whole leaves in rather than the whole trees. After a while, once you get your favorites out of the way, this book just kind of becomes kind of boring to me. Of just, I need to get it done. Oh, and this is a complaint I have. If you're going to do a spread, make it so you can lay it out, because you're going to have this, which also leads to, I don't know if it's on this page here, but it's right here a little bit, where you're going to have bleedage onto the other page as you're trying to get it if you're doing marker. Anyways, here's whale shark. I was going to do this color here to end it, but as you could tell, it was dying. And, not my favorite choice. I think I would have, had I had more blues and grays, I would have done that and probably enjoyed it a little bit better. Yep, here's a spread of snakes. I got a picture of just a whole bunch of different snakes, which had a blue, a red, a brown, and a green one, and I kind of used those as the basis of the colors. Again, spread doesn't lay flat very well, so there's some spots. Let's here. Moving on, we've got fruit bats. Again, not my favorite color choices, but I was using up old markers. Then I did two of the four jellies of the jellyfish bread. Then I did the elephant. Originally I was going to use more colors that are more common to India, so gold, reds, and then I just said, bleh, I just started doing with, this is Gar, it's a buffalo looking creature, and I chose to do more greens and reddish brown colors. Turned out very orangey. Then we have zebra mice, which I did blue for some odd reason. Alright, we're coming up to our first tag here, and let me find that color in the other book. And I'll take them out as we go, right? Okay, so this is the Wee Sea Dragon. This was my very first Wee Sea Dragon. As you can see, I did more Leafy Sea Dragon colors on them. And this one I chose to do more the Weedy Sea Dragon's colors. I also noticed I did not color the eyes. Since I have some of my markers here, let me do that real fast because it's gonna bother me. See, you even get some art in this one. There we go, much better. So as you can tell, I just noticed this picture is actually slightly smaller than this one. The books are the same size, but this is a slightly smaller one. So that is that. I don't know which I like better. I think this one's my favorite for actual Wee Sea Dragon, but this one's my favorite overall. Alright. Let's move back here. Oh, we've got another one. Let me find that one. Let's see, that's the... Here we are. Here's the two manta rays. Let's grab those out so we don't get confused. So this manta ray I decided to do opposites. It's the same color. This one I did various colors. I also did dye markers, I noticed in this one. So this is what I did. I think I definitely like this one better than this one. Although this part right here on this one, the main half of this blue-gray one here is probably my favorite. And I don't know which one's my favorite on this one. Probably the ones with the green wings versus the blue wings. So there's those. Let me have one more look. Move you off camera here. Alright, let's move on. Okay, this is a dragonfly spread, and I just decided to do a couple of the dragonflies. I didn't even do the wings. I mean, how do you color see-through wings, or, you know, I mean, I did this one here which had like brown black spots on it, but most of the wings are like iridescent see-through. How do you translate that without busting out watercolors? Here's a Margrave. Again, just using random colors. I started with one color and realized it was the same color I had here, and I didn't like it being together, so there's that. Alright, we're on to another one. Alright, let's find that one. That will be this one here. Okay, in the Curious Creatures one, the Okapi, I wanted to do the puffin on the other side because I really like puffins. So, and in the Brilliant Beast, I did not care about, oh come on, the wildebeest, I guess. So there's that. This one was done with the fine layers, which don't bleed quite as much, and got some metallics in there. So that's what I do for these two, and then of course I did the trees, which I didn't do in this one, just because I was, as you can tell, it's so streaky. I have a random mistake there. Okay, anyway, here's the two okapis. I definitely think this one's my favorite, but I do like this one too, so. Alright, we'll see you later, Curious Creatures. Back in frame here for the bat-eared fox. Did not like how bright this yellow is. It's like a highlighter yellow from the Ohuhu set. I don't even know if they still make that color. And we have another one that is in more earthy tones, except for the blue. The blue, just the blue-gray I have, it was kind of like the. So there's a brown bear in our cup, and then the Wolf's Mona monkey. Yes, that's supposed to be an A if you can read my writing in the camera. And they did similar colors, except for I traded out and did pink instead of this dark plummy color. Then we have Amazon milk frogs, which are kind of like poison dart frogs, but I don't think they're poisonous because I see a lot of people keeping them as pets. And I did the 6 variations that I could find on the internet. So you've got the black and white, the gray, the more like traditional green colors, the blue one, and then the cream. I think it was what the internet was calling this. Then I have the plume bascus lizards, which I did variations that I found on the internet, 2 of those. This one is in the Curious Creatures, but I didn't get a chance to do it because I liked what was on the back better. Then here you can see one color of the draft, and you can see the other color that died horrible death. So the original color I was supposed to do this was supposed to be a really pale blue, and it ended up looking like a pale blue-green. It just didn't look right for the water. But the drafts are pretty good. I like the drafts. And we have a maned wolf, which is another one of my favorite creatures. It's very bright in colors. Then we have a flying fox, another favorite animal, bright colors. And we have a Nyla, which I did more natural colors. Now this page is interesting because this page and this page, I love kangaroos, both tree and regular. So I did, instead of wasting my fine liners, which don't bleed quite as much, and or finding any water-based markers I might have, I busted out my Crayolas. I have over 100 of them because I got the big 100 pack from a few years ago that they were selling. So this is my tree kangaroo, very bright and vivid, and no, Crayola didn't do too terribly bad. I mean, this green's like me, but you know, it's Crayola, and I'm used to like Prismacolors. Here's the kangaroo, which I tried to do more indigenous Australian colors. Okay, we have another one here. This is a spread. I didn't do the spread on either one. Okay, that would be pink on green. Here we are. To take those off. So these are, let's move this one out of the way temporarily. So these are the rosy maple moth, the Chinese moon moth, the Luna moth, the popular hawk moth, and the Indonesian owl moth. And move it here, and now you can see the difference that I did. Now on this one, I know this pink was dying, so I ended up doing purple for this one versus this one, which has more of a muted pink, which actually seems to be the tone I used on the rosy maple moths. So which one do you like? Do you like the Curious Creatures or the Brilliant Beasts? I will say I kind of like the popular hawk moth colored better as the Indonesian owl moth. But as for the Luna moth and the Chinese moon moth, I think I like this one better. I'm not sure on the rosy moth. I don't think I like either one. This one seems to be too golden-y for the yellow, and this one just looks kind of meh because my markers were dying at the time. Alright, so we'll see you later, Curious Beast. Very, very soon, actually. Because we have the crust porcupine, which I picked, like, I think there's about roughly six colors that I used, and I just kind of varied them. So, let me find art back in this one, which I think, yes, here it is. And here is how I did him in the first one that I did, the Curious Creatures. Oh, this one's smaller and this one's larger now. size consistency is weird. And I will say I like him better, but I really like this green color. It's just like, it's a nice muted, aloe-y color. But then again, he's nice and bright and vivid, so. Again, let me know which ones you like. Oh, moose. I got to find the moose. The moose. Almost. Here's my moose. Get the tags. Again, bright vivid moose. Bright vivid moose. So here we go with our mooses. Or meese. No, I think it's moose. Moose and moose. Huh. It's 2 years apart. If you look at the dates, basically. So that's kind of cool. I actually did very similar colorings on those. So there's my two moose. These. I have only a few more in that one. And let's keep going. Induced by Mom. Here is the Arbora Alligator Lizard. Again, this was one that I'm like, yep, no, I'm not doing backgrounds again. And then I have the Nimbats. They're kind of cute looking. Alright, here we are with one of our last two ones, which is Sir Mr. Walrus, or Winston Walrus. We'll put it in like this time. This one here in the Brilliant Beast, I did more earthy tones, which is probably why I like him a lot better than the colorful, vivid one here. I did do some similar colors in there. But yeah, I really like how he turned out, and I think if I was going to find another one of these for fairly cheap, you know, within the $3 to $7 range, $3 to $10 range, I would definitely get more earth tones to do in them. Alright, I'm going to flip this to the last bookmark on the Curious Creatures while we continue on here with the Brilliant Beast. Alright, next we have the Gray Crowned Crane. This one worked out because it kind of laid flat. And then I did more regular colors, so to speak. Of course, my blacks always die faster. You know, if it was me, I would put doubles of skin tones, certain browns, and black, probably. So skin tones, certain primary colors like red, yellow, certain blues always seem, and greens always seem to be like gone before you know it, and then black. Okay, then we just have a Luna moth by itself, which was kind of fun. Alright, now we have a hornbill. We did have a hornbill in this one, but it was very different pictures, so I didn't want to compare it. And then we have a secretary bird, which would make my sister-in-law very happy, because that's one of her favorite birds. I also did not do the eyelashes. Well, more art for you. Oh, come on. When you're up late because it's summer watching television and mindlessly coloring when you're on the verge of falling asleep, it's pretty hard to remember to do something. So you get a little art and a flip through video. Just because I so happen to have marker, some of my coloring fine liners and whatnot sitting right next to me. Almost there. There we go. A little bit better. Still looks funky, but they're birds of the African desert. What do you expect? Alright, again, also on the hornbill, found this really intricate blue and yellow hornbill on the internet and thought that would be kind of cool. So basically I did Zazu. Alright, here we are. We have the new bands, or sea slugs. Because I wanted to do the secretary bird, I didn't do the full spread. I do the full spread in the other one, and outside of the like little sea dragon guy here, I tried to do different colors. This one pretty much only has like 4 colors. So that's what I did here versus my big old spread, which I even did like a red version. These little guys, I think they're so cool. Just so colorful. Down in the ocean, colorful for no apparent reason. Just there. Let me see. I don't know. So I guess I'll do it like this, and we'll just show the page to page comparison. Again, getting to the point, although I could have colored the spread. Had I colored the spread, it would have been a little easier not to have such a white stark thing, but that's what I did here. So you got these guys, and these, and there, and there, and there. And these are what I did for the rest of the ones in the Curious Beast. Alright, Curious Beast, you are finished. I will put you aside so I can put the two of you together and some random box and never think about you again. Moving on, we've got the Dalama Ram. Is that a ram? Is that a llama? It's a ram. Again, probably one of my favorites, doing more earthy tones. This one I tried experimenting with, doing the Jewel Beetle in metallics, and my Sakura Jewelry Roll metallics, because if you actually Google Jewel Beetle, there are these very vivid, metallic-y, colorful beetles that people even make jewelry out of their husks and everything. They wouldn't just have a colorful moth. Dragonfly. I actually like this dragonfly a lot better. Found this blue-green dragonfly that had like gold and kind of gold and black wings, and it just kind of fit this one. A page of actual butterflies instead of moths. How, like, what? Okay, so we've got these blue ones here are the Genetta Firma Fosters. We've got the white spotted Argus and the Apollo Metal Mark. I think that's Mark. Yeah, that's Mark. So, butterflies, nice and pretty. We are almost finished. Here. Last 2 pages is the raccoon and the Cory Bushels. Cory Bushels were the last ones I did, because they were last page. So I was kind of keeping the list of the Rolling Beast open. Okay, so this is what I did for the Curious Creatures list. I was trying to do that, but because they didn't put this in between the pictures on the list, I ended up just skipping it and just writing the names on the things. It's made this video a little easier to do than my Curious Creatures one, but that is basically it. That's the look of my second Millie Miranda book versus my first Millie Miranda coloring book. And like I said, I probably won't do another one of these. My next coloring book adventures to show you is going to be a fellow YouTuber's coloring books. I got for Christmas Miyu art coloring books of her pop culture ones. I've been following her for several years now. So anyways, look forward to that. If you want to do this playthrough, I think I'll left an iCard at the beginning of the video to flip through it, and it is also going to be in the playlist linked below, or probably right now, right here. Because I don't think I'll put my end cart. I'll just leave this as the ending. So until next time, I will fox catch you guys later. Bye!